Hello everyone. In our previous section we discussed about the analysis of algorithm, and we also discussed that there are two complexities which decides that how best is the algorithm. So one is the time complexity and the other is space complexity. So in this video we will discuss about the time complexity of an algorithm. So what do we mean by time complexity? So in the simplest terms, it is the amount of time taken by an algorithm to run. So let's say we have written an algorithm and we try to execute. So when that algorithm finishes, the amount of time taken by algorithm determines our time complexity. So here usually an algorithm takes in an input, and in order to process that input, some amount of time is taken. So an efficient algorithm will try to process the input very fast, and a non-efficient algorithm will take some more time to process the input. So this processing of input by an algorithm helps in determining the time complexity. So here in our previous example, where we have these two programmers, Ramesh and Suresh, who have written these two algorithms. So here the input is same for both the algorithms, but here Ramesh is calculating the sum of first n natural numbers using the mathematical formula, which is directly putting the values inside this formula and returning the sum of first n natural numbers. Whereas here if you see that whatever value of n we are providing, we are simply running this statement that many times. So in for loop it is running from 1 to a value less than equal to n. So here let's say if the value of n is very large, this statement will run that many times. So the time taken by this algorithm will be somewhat more than this algorithm, because here we are processing an input based on a for loop where this line is executing n number of times, and here we are simply using the value of n into this formula, which is directly returning as the sum of first n natural numbers. So definitely this algorithm will be more efficient than this algorithm, because the time taken by this algorithm will be less as compared to this. And we'll also discuss more about how to calculate this time complexity in much greater detail in our upcoming videos. But for time being, we just analyze that this algorithm will be much better than this algorithm, because here there is only one statement which is a constant statement, and here we are iterating in a for loop where this line gets executed for n number of times, because this loop goes from 1 to less than equal to n. So let's try to execute this code in Eclipse and see that how much time these algorithms are taking. So friends, here you can see that we have written this both the algorithms, and inside our main method we are simply calling this find sum method. Now here what we are simply doing is, when we run this main method, we are storing the current time in this variable. Then we are executing our find sum method, and at the last we are again calculating the current time, and we are simply subtracting this time, so we can get the time taken by this algorithm. And if you see, it gives the time in milliseconds. So if we run this algorithm with a very large value of n, you will find it will take almost no time, because this is only a single statement where we are providing this value of n into this mathematical formula. So if I run this, so this is the sum of first n natural numbers of 99,999, and here you can see the time taken is almost 0 milliseconds. Now let's say if I comment this part and I uncomment this, so now if I run this algorithm again, so now this algorithm will be executed. So here you can see the answer is the same, but the time taken is almost 2 milliseconds. So here you can see that though we have these two algorithms which solves our problem, we usually do the analysis of the algorithms to get the best algorithm out of the options. And also friend, calculating the time taken by algorithm by this is also a not good idea, because this depends on machine to machine. So it is just giving us a rough estimate about the time taken by these algorithms. But when we do analysis of algorithm, there are different mathematical tools which can help us determining the time complexity of an algorithm. So this was all about the time complexity of an algorithm. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.